So, what does it really take for a crypto company to go global? Today, we're going to deconstruct the entire business strategy of one company, Pintopay. We've managed to get our hands on their internal marketing decks, and we're going to use them to figure out exactly how they plan to bridge that massive gap between digital assets and your actual daily life. All right, let's dive in. So here's the game plan. We'll start with the core problem that everyone in crypto faces, and then look at Pintopay's proposed solution. From there, we'll size up the massive market opportunity, break down their global strategy, and then get into the really tough stuff, the hurdles they have to overcome. We'll wrap it all up by asking what this means for the future of, well, your wallet. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, the fundamental challenge. The whole reason a company like Pintopay even exists. It all comes down to this gap. This huge gap between the wealth people have in the digital world and what they can actually do with it day to day. I mean, think about it. It's such a simple question, right? But it gets right to the heart of the matter. For all the talk about a financial revolution, using your crypto for something as simple as a cup of coffee is still incredibly complicated, sometimes even impossible for most people. And this right here is the core pain point. You have millions of people holding crypto, but that value is basically trapped. If you want to spend it, you have to jump through all these hoops, exchanges, complicated off-ramps. The money is there, but it's not really liquid in the real world. It's locked away. And this is where Pintopay enters the story. They're positioning themselves as the answer, not just another crypto project, but as the actual solution, the bridge that's going to connect all that locked-up digital value to the real-world economy. And here it is, their mission statement, straight from their own playbook. They call themselves a crypto financial ecosystem with two huge promises. First, seamless integration into Telegram, and second, payments without restrictions, blocking, or intermediaries. You know that second part? That is a very bold claim to make. So, how are they going to deliver on a mission that big? Well, their strategy has a few different layers. It starts with a crypto card for everyday use. Then you've got peer-to-peer transfers right inside of Telegram. And they're also building white label solutions for other businesses. But their ultimate ambition? Yeah, that's to become a full-service neobank. Now, a plan that ambitious needs a seriously big market to justify it. So just how big of an opportunity is Pintopay really chasing? Well, the numbers they're looking at they're pretty staggering. 5.2 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. It's massive. But what does it actually represent? Because this single figure is what their entire growth strategy is built on. That is the projected number of global crypto users by the year 2030. Their research shows the user base is going to explode from about 500 million today to over 5 billion in just 6 years. That's a mind-bogglingly huge potential customer pool. And you know, it's not just about the number of people. The markets for the tools they're gonna need are also absolutely booming. The crypto card market is set to grow to over $150 billion. But check out the crypto wallet market. It's projected to rocket from about $12 billion to over $100 billion. That's a compound annual growth rate of over 26%. It's a huge signal that the foundational plumbing for crypto is expanding like crazy, creating the perfect storm for a company like Pintopay. So, the opportunity is absolutely massive, but how do you actually go out and capture it? Let's get into their plan to win over users literally all across the globe. Now, this is where it gets really smart. Their global playbook isn't some one-size-fits-all approach. Nope. In Latin America, where economic instability is a huge issue, they're focused on financial inclusion. In Asia, it's all about plugging into the mobile convenience that people are already used to. And in places like the CIS and MENA regions, they're positioning crypto as a way to hedge against inflation while, carefully navigating some very tricky regulations. And to pull all this off, they're basically attacking on two fronts at the same time. First, they're going straight to consumers with a massive influencer marketing network, but simultaneously, they're also targeting other businesses with a B2B white label solution, which lets other companies build right on top of Pintopay's technology. Now, check this out. This quote is pulled directly from their pitch to influencers, and it's so revealing. They're not just asking people to shill a product. They're framing it as this grand mission, become a guide to the new financial world. It's aspirational, it's empowering, and it's designed to create this loyal army of partners who feel like they're part of something much bigger.
And for those B2B partners, the pitch is all about being pragmatic. It's about speed and efficiency. They're basically saying, look, why would you spend millions of dollars and years of development trying to build your own crypto payment system? Just use our tech, slap your brand on it, and launch fast. It's a really clever way for them to scale.
Okay, so the strategy looks great on paper, right? But we all know no business plan survives contact with reality. And this brings us to the major challenges Pintopay has to overcome. We're talking about a crazy web of global regulations and a field full of powerful competitors. These are the boss battles. And the regulatory landscape is just incredibly difficult. I mean, look at this. In a key market like Brazil, crypto payments illegal, but you need a license. But then you go over to Russia or Turkey, and they're banned entirely. And in India, it's this weird gray area. A global rollout means you have to navigate this insane patchwork of rules where your product is totally legal in one country and completely illegal right across the border. And then, of course, there's the competition. They're not just fighting other startups, they're going up against giants like Binance. So how do they even plan to compete? Well, according to their own analysis, their big edge comes from their platform choice. They're building a native mini app inside Telegram, not another standalone app you have to download. They're also focusing on global, multi-currency use from day one, and their bigger strategy includes that B2B side and the neobank vision, which is just a much wider scope than a simple consumer card. All right, let's bring this all together. After looking at the problem, the solution, the market, and the massive challenges, what's the grand vision that Pintopay is actually selling? What does this all mean for the future of your own wallet? This slide sums it all up perfectly. The consumer card, yeah, it's important, but it's only one piece of a much, much larger ecosystem. You can see their business model is this carefully balanced machine, with the B2B solutions and the influencer network being almost as critical as the card itself. And the whole thing is designed to build the foundation for their ultimate goal, that full-service crypto-native neobank. And this really brings us to the final, and I think most interesting question that Pintopay's entire strategy is betting on. For years, the big goal in tech was to build the next super app that does absolutely everything. But Pintopay is betting on a totally different future. They're betting on a future where the most powerful financial tools aren't in some separate app at all, but are seamlessly built into the communication platforms like Telegram that we already live in every single day. It's a fascinating bet, and whether they're right or not, well, that could define the next evolution of the digital wallet.